Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Broomstone's presentation of the USWCA 66th annual Bonspiel, annual national Bonspiel. Our beginning of the 12th draw is going to be delayed just a little bit as we prepare the ice. Some games have gone along over the day. So if you'll bear with us, we'll be keeping things live and online for you. And to get a chance to get a good look at Greg, our Iceman. He's a wonderful guy. We all love him because if we don't, we get the crappy rink. So stick around and we'll be right back with you.
By the fact that people on one are not people who will fight. That's right. Good curling. Curling.
Hi, welcome to Broomstones. We appreciate your waiting for the start of the next draw in the 66th National Bonspiel, the U.S. Women's Curling Association sponsored National Bonspiel. We're running a little bit behind. The curlers are just coming out to the ice shortly, and so we appreciate your patience, and we'll get started probably within 5 minutes or so. Thank you. Hi, and welcome to the U.S. Women's Curling Association 66th National Bonspiel here at Broomstones. I'm Todd Kay, and we're just getting started. We're following the Coyotes from Phoenix, Arizona, Tempe actually, near Phoenix, and Kettle Marine from Wisconsin, apparently halfway between Madison and Milwaukee. So we're just getting started with the leads throwing their opening rocks. Meyer with the red stones, and their lead is Irene Shooter, and throws up a guard for, that slides into the top 12. And the Coyotes lead has thrown her first stone. That would have been Tracy Drummond. Her second stone coming up now. She's at the back of the 12-foot. So looks like another draw being called by the Coyote skip. The Coyotes, by the Kettle Marine skip. No, I had it right the first time. The Coyote skip, Kelly Stevens calling a draw, looking to get behind the red stone of Kettle Marine. And doesn't quite slip by. Stops right on the center line, top of the 12-foot. Appears to be just biting the 12-foot. So, okay. So the second stone for the Kettle Marine lead, Irene Shooter. Looks like she's looking for a takeout on the back stone, but it looks like it's going to slide through the house and just miss clipping the yellow stone. So we move on to the second for both Kettle Marine and Coyote. Looks like Kettle Marine has the hammer in the first end. So the Coyote's second, Denise Juilliard, is throwing her first stone, and they have very nice matching desert-themed vests, as they're from the desert, Tempe, Arizona. So looking for a draw, looking to draw around those stones at the top of the house. Looks like it just might sneak by, but it's looking pretty heavy. And looks like it's going to stop top of the 8-foot in the back. So the lead for Kettle Marine next. Jackie Statina. Jackie Statina is a consultant from Heartland, Wisconsin. She lets her first stone go. The sweepers are sweeping. It's looking to trot, I would imagine, to stick to one of the yellows at the back of the house. Needs to curl just a little bit, and looks like it's just going to slide by and stick in the back of the 12-foot. So the Coyotes, with looks like 3 stones in the house. It's hard to tell which stone is counting at the moment. The yellow stone at the back of the house. So Denise Juilliard throws her second stone. The Coyotes second. Looking to draw in around those front stones. Oh, and just clips her own stones. But that is shot rock at the moment. So the Vices will be throwing their stones now. First up, Millie Bouge from Kettle Marine. Looks like it's a takeout. Going for shot rock. It's maybe curling a bit much on her though. Looks like it's going to miss and slide towards the back of the house. Catch some stones back there and rearrange things a little bit. Looks like she's second shot at the moment, but the Stevens rink still has shot rock and is calling for a stone in the house in front of the shot rock. So this is the vice for the Coyotes. Lindsay Juilliard, I'm guessing either sister of Denise Juilliard, who's the second on the Coyotes. Oh, needs to slow down. May have been just a little bit heavy. Looks like it might kiss off shot rock and knocks the shot rock to the back of the house and takes shot rock position itself. So the vice for Kettle Moraine, Millie Bouge up next. See what the skip's calling. Possibly looking for a double takeout on the Coyotes' stones on the left of the house. Shots away. The sweepers very active on this shot. Let's see. Looks like it's got a good line. It's going to take out shot rock. Going to miss the second shot, but ends up in the 4-foot. Just biting the 4-foot, and Meyer is now shot rock. Here comes the second shot from the vice for the Coyotes, Lindsay Juilliard. The shot's away. Looks like trying to knock the one red into the next and take out shot rock. It's going to connect with her own stone and doesn't take out shot rock, but now Stevens is sitting second shot. Skips will be throwing next. First up, Kelly Stevens from Coyote. No, excuse me. First up, apologies, that's the second stone for the Meyer Vice. Millie Bouge looking for a draw. Into the 4-foot. It needs to curl. Doesn't look like it's quite going to get there. Going to sit just up top, biting the possibly biting the 12-foot. Now it skips rocks. And with Kettle Marine having the hammer, the Kelly Stevens of Coyotes will be throwing her first stone as she makes her way down the ice. So Kettle Marine sitting shot at the moment. It is, Margaret. There's a lot of stones in play, and we're delighted to have your many years of curling experience, expertise with us. I'm just starting out, so feeling my way through this game. But what do you think the shot is for the skip for the Coyotes here?
Like she wants to draw in, maybe behind coverage, and freeze to the red rock. That's the shot rock, the Meyer Rinks rock. Over to the side. Looks like they're gonna have to sweep that one, or they'll catch on the guard there.
Yeah, the line looks a little tight.
It does look tight. To sweep hard, get it by. Just by. And there we are. Looks like that's shot now, right on the center line.
Although that shot rock's pretty exposed at the moment, so no guards out in front.
It was a nice weight. She threw nice weight to get it there.
Kelly Stevens of the Coyotes with 33 years of curling experience, although she has nothing on Judy Meyer, who's going to throw her first stone with 48 years of curling experience.
Oh my gosh, she doesn't look that old.
No, she doesn't. Yes, indeed. So Judy Meyer makes her way down the ice, and looks like she's going to have to take out shot rock, I would guess. What do you see as the shot?
Yeah, I think she'll be going for shot rock, all right. A nice takeout. It doesn't look like she's going to throw heavyweight. Looks like there's enough ice there that she'll throw a nice gentle takeout. And I would imagine she'd like to put it out between the two red stones on the right side of the sheet from where we sit.
So she'd like her stone to be guarded a bit after it takes out the yellow. Quite.
Be nice. She may want to get a little roll behind the guard coverage there, but most of all, she needs to get this rock out. She can roll the other way. The left side of the sheet.
So it looks like Kelly Stevens is going to try and limit the damage. Meyer in good position to score a couple. So is there a double possible here for Kelly Stevens?
Sure, it's possible.
If she hits to the inside of shot rock, she might have a chance of taking them out both. Yeah.
That's right. It's certainly exposed.
But given the amount of ice her vice has given her, it doesn't look like it's going to be extremely strong weight. Line looks good. Sweepers are holding off. Needs to curl. Looks like it might get there though. She does. Not going to get a double, but she's going to. Yeah. No, it's a shot rock there, Margaret. So the skip and the vice are discussing the shot. They certainly have to take out.
The red rock will be shot rock.
Red rock's counting, but if they can take out the second, they can score 2 in this first end. Again, you're watching Kettle Marine 2 from Wisconsin and the Coyotes from Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah, the red rock to the vice skip's left is the shot rock.
So it looks like 2 is the goal here. I don't see, although maybe the
one at the back of the house.
So here's the last stone of the first end. And Judy Meyer lets it go.
She's got a little bit more weight on this, but they're going to have to sweep it.
She might have a shot at 3 actually if she catches, if the shooter sticks around and she gets rid of the yellow. But it looks like it might be curling on her. Yeah. Let's see.
But not enough.
Oh, looks like
They'll score though.
is red still shot?
I believe red was. Looks like they counted at least one.
All right.
Possibly
Well,
two.
we'll
It's
see.
hard to tell from our angle.
Yeah.
The 2 closer rocks was second shot.
So that end was shooting away from us. So we can take a look at the monitor, but we'll see. Yes, 1 for red. So Myers does end up with 1, and Stevens will have the hammer this time. So the lead for the Kettle Marine 2, Irene Shooter, releases her first rock. Looks like looking for a guard up at the center line. It looks like it might come a little deep, needs to stop. Looks like it might just bite the 12 foot. Yes, well, biting the 8 foot actually. That looks like the ice is sliding pretty well out there. So Kelly Stevens calling for a guard on the center line. Tracy Drummond, the lead for the Coyotes. Like
Looks like she's calling for a shot. I missed her call, but it looks like she's calling for a shot behind the red rock, biting the 8 foot.
All right, Tracy Drummond's shot is away. Going to be tight. Needs to get around that guard. Looks like it's right where the skip. Oh, just clips the red stone that was in the 12 foot. So Judy Meyer calling for a takeout. Irene Shooter releasing her second stone.
And they're sweeping it. It needs to come over a little bit. Probably will at the end as it approaches the house. And here it comes.
Looks like it has the line.
And I'd like it to roll to the outside of the house, I would imagine. But good shot.
And rolls behind her other stone. Very good shot.
It's
So, as a skip, I can imagine that the throws and the leads is very, very important for setting up the end.
It's absolutely crucial to how well you can do in an end, how well your lead rocks are thrown. It can be very, very difficult to generate points or prevent your opponent from scoring if your lead rocks are not well played.
I was watching the U.S. Olympics, the men against Russia yesterday, and an end changed completely if a leads rock slipped into the house.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And now a lot of the elite curling teams worldwide are using the tick shot, and that's a great shot. Very useful if you can make it, but if it's missed, then it's a lost stone.
So that was something I hadn't seen before yesterday. So that's if there's a guard in the free guard zone, you're not allowed to remove that stone, but you are allowed to tick that stone. Is that what you're referring to?
That's correct. You cannot knock the rock out of the house or off the playing sheet, but you can move it. And so the tick is meant to move the guards that can't be removed from the scoring area, but to move them out of the way to allow access to the house. So if a team has last rock and the opposition has placed their rocks on the center line, those rocks can get in the way of access to the house for the skip to ultimately come down and be able to score that end with their last rock. So if the lead is able to tick that shot away, just move it so that it doesn't violate the rule, but get that rock off center line. That's very helpful.
And so the lead stones are the ones allowed to be in the free guard zone, and then the first stone by the second is the first time you're allowed to take out a guard from the guard zone. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So the tick is a way around that almost. If you can, it's a very precise shot, I would imagine.
It takes a lot of practice, even for the elite curlers. They practice that shot a lot to be able to perform it reliably. And of course the danger is that because you're just trying to catch at the very edge of the rock, that you may miss the rock altogether and lose your rock through the house or in a position that is not wanted, like perhaps the back of the house where there may be a freeze to it, for example.
So let's catch up with the action on sheet 3 here at Broomstones. The Coyotes against Kettle Marine. So Meyer with the hammer, and it looks like Meyer is sitting 2 at the moment, possibly 3.
Yeah, possibly 3.
And so it's the last stone for the Coyotes' vice. It looks like she's looking to sit on the shot rock of Meyer. Gonna need to be swept though. Looks like, oh, sweepers are off. The second shot rock behind the tee line, so moved out of the way. Very nice shot by the Stevens vice. So Stevens rink is now shot rock, and I thought that was the vice. That was actually the second shot by the second. So now the vice of the Kettle Marine 2 releases her first stone.
The sweepers are motioning for it to curl over.
So that they didn't sweep because maybe the line was a little bit off.
Yeah, it was. So they went between the 2 opposition rocks.
So Margaret, I have to say, with my first year here at Broomstone, one of the most striking impressions is the congeniality of the sport. The people, who've been members here, whether it be 2, 5, or 15 years, could not be more welcoming and accommodating and instructing I tell everybody who asks me about curling that that's the thing that strikes me more than anything else.
Well, curling has a long tradition of not only being a competitive sport and one that takes a strength and agility, a lot of physical activity involved, but also the social aspect of the sport. And the social aspect of the sport has always been a very important part. And as you know, the broom stacking tradition after the game is something that's practiced wherever curling's played around the world. And as you know, that means that the winners buy the losers a drink.
Yeah, house, and I believe last Olympics somewhere near 1,000 people come through Broomstone. So please feel free to come out and give curling a try. So Judy Meyer throwing her first stone as the Kettle Marine skip. She's sitting 2, and I didn't see the call, but I would imagine she want to guard that shot rock. It's a bit exposed at the moment.
Or looks like she's a little heavy for that. Maybe she can freeze onto this red stone or her shot red stone, and she knocked it back.
But she's sitting 3.
She's sitting 3, so she's in good shape to score. Still in good shape to score here.
Kelly Stevens is going to look for a takeout here, I would imagine.
Yeah, Kelly's going to be looking to find a way to get into the button and try and position a stone so that it can't be taken out by the Meyer rink, by Skip Meyer.
So ideally, she'd like to roll behind stone in the 12-foot.
Well, if she can somehow position her rock so that it's directly in front of the two stones on the vice skip's left-hand side of the sheet, then Meyer's going to have difficulty removing them. Now, whether that'll be possible with this shot clear, the yellow stone may be in the way of a draw there, maybe difficult angle to draw into. So it looks like she is trying to take out. It's going to be difficult, though, to get her stone positioned so that it is shot rock, though.
Hard to know what she discussed with her vice in terms of where they want to leave this stone, but
It's possible.
definitely take out weight.
If she hits it on the nose, she won't be shot rock, but she may be able to get a roll. If she hits the rock on the proper angle, this looks like a draw.
Looks like it might be curling on her, but
Yeah, she might just jam onto her own
she might
rock
just
there. Is she
jam
going to
right
sweep
into
by?
Oh,
must have been
and
burned.
The stone was burned.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's unfortunate. So
Oh.
it looks like one of the sweepers touched the stone, and the minute that happens, that stone is taken out of play immediately. So that's a bad break for Stevens' rink.
So certainly the Meyer rink now has a chance to guard those three stones that are in the house and make it even more difficult for Stevens to get in there.
Yeah, with the hammer, I don't think you want to get greedy here. You definitely want to guard what you have at the moment. So Judy Meyer from Pewaukee, Wisconsin, working her way down the ice for her second stone in the second end. So a lot of times on the scoreboard, the hammer symbol doesn't get moved, so we need to pay attention to who scored in the previous end. Stevens with the hammer.
Oh, that's right. You're right. It is Stevens with the hammer.
I may have called that incorrectly earlier, but when a team scores in an end in curling, the hammer, meaning the last shot of the end, moves to the other team.
Yep. Sorry, folks. Stevens has the hammer this end. So this will be Meyer's last shot, and Stevens will have another one to come down. So again, too heavy for a guard. She's coming into the 4-foot area, spilling the two out. So she now has four shot rocks.
Meyer sitting 4, looking for a strong end here. So Kelly Stevens has her work cut out for her here. It's like she's gonna have to take her one and move on. I think not a chance to get two. Anybody out there who's been watching the Olympics, you notice that if you have the hammer, you want to score 2 in such a top level competition, because any less than 2 really opens up an opportunity for your opponent. But in this competition, and especially in this end here, looks like Kelly Stevens, to avoid Meyer scoring 4, definitely needs to take her one and tie up the game and move on to the third end.
Yeah, Stevens will be happy to get one here. With those four rocks concentrated around the button. You're going to have to watch this closely to get a good angle on that rock.
It's like she's looking to take out the stone and roll to the button.
Yep, she needs a little roll over to the button.
Looks like
It doesn't want to hit there. Did she get it?
Oh, very
Excellent
nice shot.
Excellent. Well done. Looks like she's shot.
That's a
Looks like
beautiful
one
shot
yellow.
by Kelly Stevens. So he ties it up. We move on to the third end. And so Meyer will have the hammer in the third end. Again, you're watching the 66th National Bonspiel, U.S. Women's Curling Association at Broomstones Curling in Wayland, Mass. I'm Todd Kay, along with Margaret Lawler, calling the action for you. So how many years have you been curling?
I was afraid you were going to ask me that.
Is that like asking a woman her age?
I believe this is my 5th year at Broomstones, but
Okay.
I did curl as a junior at St. George's and the Weston Golf and Country Club in Toronto when I was growing up. that good enough an
That's
answer for you,
good enough.
Todd?
an answer. 5 years at Broomstones. Okay.
I think it's 5. Yeah. Yeah, I curled quite a bit in Toronto when I was younger. We have a lot of Canadians at the club too.
Oh, do we?
Sure.
I'm still getting to know the folks at the club.
Hmm.
So Tracy Drummond, the lead for the Coyotes, lets her first rock go. And what would be the general call for a lead? In a, it's a 1-1 game. It's early in the game. Would you be looking for a guard?
You certainly can go that way, or there's different ways of thinking about setting up scoring for an end. But it's really not unusual to set up for the team without the hammer, just to set up a center line guard with the hopes that you can set up a steal to be able to take one or more away from the team that has the hammer. So to set up a steal, usually you do start with a guard, with a center line guard.
So with Tracy Drummond's first stone, unfortunately, through the house, would that change Judy Meyer's strategy with the hammer? She looks like she called for a guard, but it looks like Irene Shooter's stone's a little heavy as well.
Yeah, looks like it's going through the house.
So it looks like they're back to the starting point now.
Right. So as you mentioned earlier, when you have the hammer, you really want to try and generate 2 points if you can. And usually that means that you think about putting up guards so that you can draw behind and try and get a miss from your opponent, so you end up scoring 2 points. That's kind of hard to do if you don't have guards to put your scoring rocks behind.
So one thing as a beginner, still trying to learn and understand the strategy, is that I understand the concept of a guard, but one of the things I've always wondered is if there's a guard out there, regardless of who puts the guard out there, anybody can draw behind it. So how does the strategy work if you're looking to put a guard up and steal, if you don't have the hammer? The other team can just as easily draw behind the same guard. So how's the guard an advantage to you if you put it out there?
So if it's your stone, then and the opposition draws behind it, then you can raise your own rock onto the opposition stone, knock theirs out of the house, and then your rock would be in the scoring position. So you want your own rocks at the front of the house. You want to always try to control the front of the house as best you can. So certainly you can put your rock in behind an opposition stone and use it as a guard, and there's many situations where that works quite nicely, especially if guards are overlapped, where you can't do what's called a run back. So the opposition can't run their stone back onto yours with like takeout type weight. So that's the danger. But if it's a guard that's close to the house, a run back may be easy. Stone that's further or closer to the hog line, run back's harder. But then it's easier to draw around a guard that's close to the hog line.
Right. Very interesting.
So now Skip Mayer is calling for a rock behind her opposition there, behind the opposition guard, but she's asking for it to be in the 12-foot. And so what I believe she's setting up there is to get her own rocks in front of the house, try to prevent the Stevens team from raising their own rocks into the house.
Looks like the Stevens rink is having a little bit of trouble reading the ice. The ice may have sped up from the first two ends. One thing I've certainly noticed as a lead is when you first come out on the ice, the stones can be very heavy, but the ice will heat up pretty quickly, and it's difficult to adjust to the changing ice conditions, even from one end to another.
Well, that's what makes curling such an interesting game, and so variable. Takes a skill and practice and observation and awareness to watch the changes that are happening in the ice and to adjust to them.
A lot of teams will use timing to gauge the speed of the ice. So I don't know that I see anybody using that technology or that approach here, although I do see some stopwatches. So how does a team time a throw to determine the speed of the ice?
Well, timers are used in a couple of different ways. Just in general to understand how slow or how fast the ice is. Some people will time a draw to the button between the two hog lines and compare that to other conditions and understand with that time whether the ice is faster. But usually, especially certainly at this club, people will time when someone's delivering the rock between the back line, when the rock crosses the back line, until the rock goes over the hog line, and then use that to determine, okay, are they having to push out and cover that distance faster? So in other words, is the ice slow, or is it quicker? Is it taking them a shorter amount of time?
And you'll hear out on the ice, you'll hear that was about a 5-0 or a 6-5 and or 7-5, or should I throw a 6 for this draw? So a lot of very detailed discussions on the speed of the ice going on, even at the club social level.
Yeah, it helps, but probably, I've always found the most important thing is to just really watch the rock and watch, how fast it's going down the ice, how fast people are walking beside it, what path it's taking, where it's being thrown on the sheet, because it certainly happens that sometimes one side of the sheet can be faster than the other. Also, people have different releases, so sometimes people come out and they'll push the rock.
And I've noticed that if somebody pushes the rock, you kind of throw the timing out the window.
That's right. The timing's really not helpful then.
So the taught technique is to push out from the hack and not throw the rock forward, but simply just to release the rock, turn it from about 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock to 12 o'clock as you release the stone, depending on if you're curling inward or out, and the timing's much more effective if you throw that technique. But we do have many skips at Broomstones, I noticed, who give it a little push when they get out to the hog line. So everybody has a slightly different technique. Much like in baseball, every batter's box just a little bit differently.
That's right. That was a nice freeze, or at least draw down to the 4-foot circle by the vice, I believe.
So it looks like Stevens is sitting shot rock at the moment, and that was the last shot by the Stevens vice. So now the Meyer vice is with the hammer. Millie
Buell.
Huge. We're a little uncertain on the pronunciation there.
So, sorry folks if you know these ladies. I'd like to get the names correct, but
Buege, Millie from Wisconsin.
Her hometown is Delafield, Wisconsin. She's a retired teacher.
So skips rocks now in the third end, all tied up 1-1. Myers and Stevens. Again, the Meyer rink from Kettle Marine, Wisconsin, and the Stevens rink from Tempe, Arizona, where the ladies on this team have told us that they are involved in building their own dedicated ice facility out in the desert. So curling steadily growing as a sport, and very interesting that even in the middle of the desert, curling's popular. So Kelly Stevens releases her first of 2 stones in the third end. Looks like
it's a little light.
Might be a little light. Going to have trouble getting around that guard. The vice comes out to help sweep, but I don't think that's going to get there. And it looks like shot rock is back of the tee line, so it's a nice freeze opportunity for the Meyer rink, and it looks like that might be what they're calling.
Yeah, it certainly looks like that. And the advantage of positioning the rock, freezing to the shot yellow stone, is that it would be difficult to take it out. Firstly, because it's guarded by the Yellowstones, and second, because of the Yellowstone behind it, which make it difficult to hit it out.
Makes a big difference in the strategy if that stone is on either side of the tee line.
It does, because if the rock you're throwing to is behind the tee line, then you're in a scoring position. Whereas if the rock is in front of the tee line, then you have to somehow get your rock behind it to score.
So Judy Meyer, retired, 48 years of curling, as we mentioned before. This is actually the first time this team has played together, all four of them together. Judy, the skip, and Millie, the vice, have been before U.S. Women's Curling Association National Bonspiel, the last four actually. So their fifth National Bonspiel. But again, the first time this team has played together. So Judy Meyer getting ready to release her first stone. I've noticed that there are people at Broomstones who use the technique Judy's using to deliver the rock.
She has a stick delivery, and for people with knee injuries, back injuries, problems with their joints and their lower extremities, that being able to use a stick and have a stick delivery has been a wonderful thing. They're still able to curl.
People to continue to curl, which is very
wonderful.
nice.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like gave it quite enough weight there. So looks like Kelly Stevens is calling for another draw. Would like to be sitting two with Meyer having the last shot. So
Yeah, she'll want to get it into the 4-foot.
Behind that last rock by Meyer, ideally.
And she may be able to use the red guard rock as a guard, but if she positions her rock beside or behind that red rock, Meyer would potentially have the option of hitting her own stone running it back. Yeah.
So
that would be a difficult shot.
A couple of the Coyotes with their desert-themed vests. It does get surprisingly warm out on the ice. So
I'm glad you noticed the styles out there, Todd. Yeah, the nice Southwest motif that they have on their vests.
Indeed, representing their state and their region. It can be much more of a workout with the sweeping than you think. It gets, even though the temperature is probably in the 40s out on the ice, it can get quite warm. It's quite a nice workout.
It sure is. Yeah. You notice nobody looks cold out there tonight.
No, not indeed. Some people wear gloves, some people don't, but being cold out on the ice is not something I've had to be concerned about, which is nice. Falling, now that's another kettle of fish altogether. But once I got my curling shoes with the good grippers, I lost my concern about falling. Being in tennis shoes was a little precarious out there.
It is, yeah. It's good to have proper curling shoes.
Yeah.
And be as stable as possible. So it looks like with the last rock there, Stevens kind of opened up the front a little bit. So it's going to allow Mayer to possibly come down and draw a shot rock onto the yellow stone there, the Stevens stone. That's just behind the button.
Looks like a pretty straight draw. Let's see how Judy Meyer's able to pull this off. Looks like the line might be a little tight. Does have a backstop though if it curls.
She's got a fair amount of weight in that rock.
Curl.
It does need to curl.
Looks like it's not going to get there. Might steal one. And they do. So after 3 ends, the Kettle Marine 2 rink 1 and the Coyote rink 2 with a steal. So the Meyer rink will keep the hammer and Stevens will throw first. Tracy Drummond, again the lead from 14 Hills, Arizona, I believe. Is that what
It
says?
looks like 14 Hills, and then she's got Dallas, Texas.
I imagine that's her hometown.
Yeah.
And Tracy is a pediatrician, I believe.
Yeah, she's been curling for 4 years.
And this group has played 2 games together prior to the Bonspiel, so that's not a lot of experience together. Cumulatively, they have quite a bit of experience, but not together. A lot of times, teams will form specifically for Bonspiels. So as they're just getting their dedicated ice facility, building it out there, wondering where they play now. We don't have that information, but there must be some curling facilities out there in Tempe. So it looks like Tracy's throwing a shot just into the biting the 8 foot. So Judy Meyer out.
Yeah, the notes on the team from Arizona is that Lindsay, Denise, and Tracy learned to curl in Arizona on arena ice.
Ah.
So they want to build their own facility out there. So we wish them well with that, so they can have curling rink with dedicated ice.
So it looks like Eileen Shooter executes the takeout to perfection. So would that be a hockey arena where they would curl?
Presumably, yeah.
So do they pebble the ice on a hockey rink?
Yeah, I believe they do. Mm-hmm. And I've heard that usually put on arena ice when clubs are playing on arena ice. That it takes anywhere between 20 minutes and half an hour to prepare the ice to curl on. And that includes putting the rings on, pebbling the ice, just as we do here.
They have a bit of a head start with a dedicated facility, though, which is nice. Those of you who haven't been to Broomstone, it's actually a beautiful wood A-frame facility built in, I should know this, but built in the 50s. I don't know we have any information on our own club here, although I have read the history on the website. Go to www.broomstones.com to learn about joining and learn about the history of the club.
I believe it was the early 60s that Broomstones was built, but
A few area curling clubs who were denied permission to build dedicated facilities in their own towns came together to build Broomstones. So this is Tracy Drummond's second stone in the 4th end, and looking to draw behind her first stone. Looks like a very nice shot by Tracy. Not going to quite get behind there, but not a bad shot at all. So now the second for, that was actually Irene Shooter. Sorry, I had that backwards. So the first stone by Denise Juilliard now of the Coyotes.
she's from Glendale, Arizona. She's an occupational therapist.
Originally from Detroit, Michigan.
Been curling for 6.5 years. So I believe her skip called for a takeout on this one. She's going to slide by the rock in the front 8 foot and by the one in the close to the button as well.
Have you been following the Olympic curling?
I've seen a little bit of it, Todd. Not as much as I'd like to.
The U.S. men are really struggling. They had a heartbreaker loss to Russia yesterday. The last shot John Schuster had to win the match, and literally by inches he didn't score and gave Russia stole one in the 10th end to take the match. So I think the U.S. is 2-4 in the round robin, so going to find it very difficult to advance. All right, the Meyer rink sitting 3 now. Ellie Stevens needs to move. No, it's not going to move some rocks around. She's going to call for a draw by Denise Juilliard. Draw to the button.
She's decided she just wants to get a rock in there, and certainly if she can get it in front of the two that are in the 4 foot to remove.
Shows the advantage that the Stevens rink has with the 2 Meyer stones behind the tee line. Line looks good. Might need a little bit of help from the sweepers on the weight.
Yeah, they'll need to sweep this hard to get it to the button.
not going to quite get there. Sweeping, sweeping makes a huge amount of difference. And again, I'll reference the Olympics again. You see how those people, be it the men or the women, sweep, and they are, all their weight is on that broom, and literally just sweeping as hard as they can to affect that stone going further and straighter. And it's really important, I guess, as a skip, to know the strengths and weaknesses of your sweepers as well as everything else you're trying to pay attention to as a skip. I believe this is the Meyer Vice. Millie looking to, not sure what the called shot was, but looks like Meyer sitting 2 after that. And the first stone for Lindsay Juilliard, also from Glendale, Arizona, an accountant, throwing her first stone. So it looks like Kelly Stevens is calling for a takeout, calling for normal weight. It's difficult to hear a lot of times from one end to the other in a curling facility, so there's a lot of hand signals that go on for the skip to let the shooter know what the called shot is.
Yeah, so Stevens has asked her vice to take those 2 rocks out, and
successfully.
She got the one out, and the other just hung around on the 12-foot. But their own rock, the shooter rock is now shot rock, and Meyer is going to have to deal with that rock.
It looks like Judy's calling for a takeout on this. And this would be
Millie Bouge, if we're saying her name correctly. Apologies to Millie if we're not. It's coming down nicely. She should be on this rock. Needs to curl. Oh, good shot.
She leaves herself a shot.
Well done. We haven't mentioned the second on the Kettle Moraine 2 rink was Jackie Statina. She's a consultant from Heartland, and she's been curling for 7 years.
So Lindsay lets her stone go. Missed the call, but imagine she's calling for a takeout of the shot rock. Looks like it's online. Sweepers doing their job, and that stone's removed. So
well done.
Coyotes are sitting 1.
So this is Millie's second shot now. She's calling for an outturn. Looks like takeout weight, outturn takeout. And so looks like Skip Meyer wants maybe hoping for a double here, but at this point it looks like they'll get 1.
Like
if they can hang on to it, it's curling off.
Needs to sweep
it's curling
it.
off.
No.
And just touched it.
Just the line a little too tight. So that maybe provides a little bit of an advantage for Kelly Stevens. Going to put a guard up. They're going to put a stone up in the 12-foot in front of her 2 stones, make it difficult for Meyer to run it back. They're discussing this at the moment. Kelly Stevens and her using all of her 33 years of curling experience to decide on this shot. Kelly enjoys golf in the off-season, which is a very interesting, or I should say very good skill to have if you're living out in Arizona. Lots and lots of golf courses out in the desert. Play year round, although it can get quite hot in the summer. So Kelly in the hack, ready to deliver.
So we've got takeout weight coming down there with an intern takeout. Looks like she's going after that rock, but it's curling over. Should be.
Looks like she's gonna
go right by.
That's too bad. So it gives Meyer an opportunity for maybe taking out the 2 yellows.
Yep.
Looks like that's what she's calling. Meyer can be in pretty good shape if she can get rid of these 2 yellows.
Yeah, she's got last rock, so if she's able to get rid of these 2,
Could score
she'll
2.
be sitting 3.
Yeah.
Certainly an
Yeah.
opportunity
If she
to
can get rid of
possibly
these
take
2.
2.
She's actually in position, as you say.
Now.
It does. It gives Meyer a great opportunity to score 2. That's 2 burned stones in this end. I have to say that's a bit unusual. Yeah, both in this end, I believe. So Judy Meyer getting ready to deliver her stone from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Gives it good weight. The sweepers are on it.
Needs to curl. Vice is calling them off.
Needs to hit it on the nose and needs to stay
Coming
in
over,
the.
but it that's
needs
right.
to get there. Oh,
Yeah.
oh!
Just ticked it.
Just ticked it, but ticked it into shot rock position. So 1 yellow, and Stevens takes a 3-1 lead going into the 5th end. So these games are timed, 75 minutes per team. How does that work, Margaret?
So I actually thought it was 73 minutes each.
Okay.
And I'm not familiar with any of the latest updates in the timing regulations. I haven't timed myself for a couple of years, but how it works is currently is that you're timed with timing clocks by an official timer with the amount of time that you take to actually make a shot. So once your skip has possession of the house and you go to throw your rock, time comes off your clock. Once your stone has come to rest, then the opposition's time clock is turned on, and so that your clock is run down in that way. If you don't get your game in with your 73 minutes, then you lose the game. So you have to make sure that you're not taking too much time. So the timing clock goes back and forth between the 2 teams, and the time comes off your clock while the skip's calling your shot, while you're making your shot, and until the stone comes to rest. Then time starts to come off your opposition's clock.
And this is a 10-end game, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Is that
Oh, I'm
correct?
sorry. So that would make it longer. So I'm not actually sure how long these are. I'll have to check on that. But
Timers,
I
I
think
believe, are downstairs.
Pete told me maybe 73. Yeah, but we'll ask.
We'll find out. So Judy Meyer calling for a guard. Judy's are having a little bit of trouble keeping the stones in the 3 guard zone. Tracy Drummond's first stone at the back of the house, and Irene Shooter's first stone. It looks like it's probably biting the 12-foot at the top of the house. So Kelly Stevens is calling for Tracy Drummond's second stone, I believe, to be a guard as well. So we'll see if Tracy can take a little bit off this, and leave the stone as a guard. Tracy has a nice, smooth sliding technique. But again, looking a little heavy, although this may have been the shot she called to begin with. So
It's tucked in a little bit behind the guard stone of the Meyer rink.
looks like Judy Meyer's calling for it to be taken out, although with a bit of ice, so not too
Looks like she
strong.
was narrow with a broom. They're going to have to really sweep this.
Yeah, looks like she might catch her own guard if it starts to curl. We'll see.
She threw good weight at it, but
Yeah,
looked like she came out
gonna
a
catch
little
her
tight
own.
of the broom.
A little tight to begin with, so it's actually going to guard Stevens Stone, the shot rock. So we'll see if
Let's see what Stevens does with this.
she can take it to her advantage. Looking for a shot in the top of the 12-foot on the left side. So she's going to start to spread things out a little bit in the house.
So she's looking to steal. So she's putting guards up at the front of the house, rocks up at the front of the house.
Denise Juilliard's first stone of the fifth end.
Yeah, it's really curling over too. They're going to crash on the red guard there. And bump over. That's not bad. It's okay. There's a little bit more control of the front of the house, but they would have preferred it to be over to the left side
So
of
Judy,
the center line.
so Judy Meyer's calling for a run back. She wants her own stone run back into the shot rock. Down 3-1. She doesn't want to give Stevens any more scoring opportunities.
That's right. She's looking to generate points, that's for sure.
So it looks like not gonna get the run back she's looking for. Just basically
This time.
replaced one stone with another there. So we'll see if Kelly Stevens can take advantage of that.
And she's going to put another one in the 12-foot. Again, try and protect the front of the house. Put as many of her own rocks out there to prevent Judy from scoring.
So if you watch the skip, you see the skip point to a spot on the ice where she wants the stone to end up, and then she'll position her broom as a target for the shooter to shoot at, and then give a sign of whether she wants an in-turn or an out-turn with the handle of the stone. So it looks like this one might be a little heavy from Denise Juilliard.
It's a little heavy.
And you can see that Judy Meyer sweeps it out of the house. So the opposing skip is allowed to sweep your stone once it's behind the tee line, and you're allowed to sweep your stone the whole way. But once you get that stone behind the tee line, only one person's allowed to sweep your stone. So,
And Judy Meyer's going after that shot rock behind her own red stone there at the front of the house. Let's see if they can bump it back this time.
so that was Jackie Statina's second stone of the fifth end. It looks like she
Right
executes
nose
it
hit.
this time.
She does. And we'll see if Judy can sweep it out. Oh, she doesn't.
Looks like the Meyering sitting shot rock at the moment, but Kelly Stevens immediately calls for that stone to be removed by Lindsay Juilliard.
Yeah, it's pretty exposed there. They should have a good opportunity to take this one out.
Looks like Lindsay can see most, if not all of it. So looks like it might be a little wide. It needs to curl. Might be a little heavy. Looks like it's going to just sneak by. Oh, there's an opportunity missed. So now an opportunity for Judy Meyer to guard that stone, and that's what she calls for up at the top of the 12-foot.
Yeah, she's looking to control that side of the house, front of the house.
So is she called for, to my eye, she called for it to be in the house. Is there a strategy here where you would call for it either to be in or not in the house as a guard?
Well, it depends on what your objectives are and what the scoreboard looks like. So Judy is down 2 at this point. She's got the hammer. She wants to get at least 2. So I think that she would like to
More
try to
stones
have.
in the house, the
That's
better,
right.
yeah.
To try and generate more points if she can.
Looks like Millie was just a little bit short on that one, although it does work as a guard, but not in the house as Judy would have preferred. So it looks like Kelly Stevens is calling for another takeout. That's pretty tight port to get that takeout stone through. But see if Lindsay Juilliard can pull this one off.
It looks like there's room, but she's going to have to throw pretty heavy
Pretty
weight, I would imagine, to
Pretty
get
good weight, yeah.
between that gap.
So the
Now, of course,
sweepers
she
are
could
on it.
bump her own back. She may knock her own back into the red stone, but
Right.
it's going to have to
Looks
curl
like it-
more to do that.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to hit her stone.
All right.
So, but it does
And knock
does
out.
it does open up that stone a little bit.
So that gives a break to the Kettle Moraine.
So it looks like
Rink.
Judy Meyer is calling for a guard to guard that shot rock with Millie's second stone. Looks like it might be a little light. The sweepers are on it immediately. See if they can get it there.
It looks like it's going to be useful. It might end up curling over.
Looks like the sweepers did their job. Got it
Yeah.
got it down there past the hog line, and it's pretty much right where Judy called for it. Nice shot
Yeah.
by Millie.
Well done.
So let's see what Kelly Stevens has up her sleeve for her skip stones. So it looks like she's gonna
Looks like she's going to draw in.
draw in. Yeah, maybe just touch the red stone out of the way, or draw in. It looks like it might be a little tight to draw in behind it, but
Yeah, Kelly's looking to either steal one here or force Judy Mayer to one. So if she can get a rock in there in good position, it may be difficult for Judy to get it out, or to bring another one down to outscore this one. So this looks like a good strategy.
so the Coyotes are thinking if Kettle Marine has to score, we'll begrudgingly give them one. All right, the sweepers are on it. Looks like the line might be a little tight.
It looks a little light. And it's starting to curl over now.
in.
She's probably going to
rip.
just get by
Needs
if
to
they
get-
sweep hard.
And
And
she
there it
gets
goes in.
by.
She
Ooh, it's hard to
touches up
tell
on
who's
the,
shot rock at this point.
Kettle Moraine
It's,
rock. Looks like it's Kettle Moraine, I would say. Judy Mayer's team.
Yes,
rocks?
I believe it is. Yes, I believe it
So
is.
now Judy needs to decide how she's going to handle this. Is she going to put another one in for her second shot? Is she going to just be satisfied with one? Put a guard up to try and... Oh, is this her last shot? Is this the last shot?
This is
Sorry, lost
no,
track.
it's her first shot, so she's still got 2 stones to throw. So looks like she's calling for a draw, but I'm not sure where she wants to end up in this one. Judy Myers, as we mentioned, curling for 48
You're right.
years. So lots of experience.
So at the very least, she does want to guard her own, guard the entryway to the button, so that her own shot will remain shot rock.
So that,
But I think
Kelly
likely-
because Kelly Stevens could run back her own at the moment into the red.
Yeah, she could. Looks like there's opportunity to do that. So
Maybe she's just trying to clog that
So,
port, and
she
then
may
maybe
be.
do a draw for 2 with her second shot. Let's see.
She has enough ice there, though, that she should be able to draw in for second shot. Looks like it's dying out there in the mist
It's like,
on the side of the sheet.
yeah,
It'll be difficult for her to get it in there.
sometimes when the stones are on the more towards the outside of the sheet, it's a little bit of a wild card how much curl you're going to get.
Yeah.
I've noticed that myself quite a bit.
So again, we did mention that Judy Mayer is using a stick to curl, and rather than using a hack delivery, crouch hack delivery, and again, it's a nice option for people who have had back injuries or knee injuries, or find it difficult to get it in and out of the hack, to just use the stick. And certainly we have a lot of curlers here at Broomstones who use the stick for delivery, and can use it quite effectively. So it looks like certainly Judy's mastered the stick delivery. She's able to direct it very nicely.
I imagine it takes some getting used to, because there's a lot of feel that goes into the fact that you actually have your hand on the stone, so it's sort of relearning a different technique, but it does allow you to continue your curling career, so that's it's a nice development. So Kelly Stevens with her last rock of the 5th end, and looks like she's trying to remove shot rock, although looks like she might be over curling on her a little bit. Didn't quite have the weight, so I don't know that she's going to get that shot rock removed. So nice opportunity for Meyer, who is. It's hard to tell who's sitting second shot at the moment. It's very, very tight. So the Meyer rink is definitely shot rock, but second, maybe they are sitting two.
Looks like she's sitting two. Yeah.
She's sitting two, so an opportunity for three if she can draw one into the 4 foot, or even the middle of the 8 foot will get her three. So big opportunity for Meyer to get, not that she's anywhere near out of the match, but to grab a few with the hammer here in the 5th end, halfway through this Meyer-Stevens draw. The sweeper's at the ready and delivering the stone. Looks like
A
it
little
has
more
the
weight on this
yeah.
now. She's upped her weight from her last shot. But it's going to have to curl, and it's going to have to slow down now.
Again, it's one of those, it looks like it's going to go right through. So she's going to get two. Again, it's a little bit on the outside of the sheet, so not a lot of stones out there. And so
very difficult to judge the weight out there.
Yeah, difficult to judge the weight and the curl. And I've noticed, especially on sheet 4, we're on sheet 3 with the game we're calling. When on sheet 4, you get out on the right-hand side there, over by where you walk, and it's like the Bermuda Triangle. You don't know what's going to happen out there. So we do have a 4-sheet facility here at Broomstones, and there are 3 other matches going on. On sheet 1, it's Muldowney versus Wellington, and we can find out where these teams are from. So sheet 1. Let's
Nutmeg 2 team.
Looks like they're from Connecticut.
Connecticut, yep.
Nutmeg would be a clue there. And so that's the Muldowney rink from Connecticut has a large lead over the Wellington rink, 8-3 at the moment through 5 ends. And the Wellington rink from
the Country Club in Brookline.
So not far from here in Wayland. There's I haven't been, but apparently a very nice facility at the Country Club in Brookline. And so that's a score of 8-3 at the moment. On rink 2, we have the Borland rink versus the Callaway rink, and Callaway's ahead 5-1 at the moment through 5 ends.
Jeannie Borland is from Mayfield in Ohio. And with her, she's got MJ Masonville, Annie Vanek, Cheryl Drake, all from Ohio. Kent, Aurora, Moreland Hills, and Shaker Heights, Ohio.
And on sheet number 4, Glowacki and Longnecker. And the Longnecker rink through 5 ends is ahead 7-1 over Glowacki.
Longnecker's from Cape Cod, and Glowacki is from Bowling Green Curling Club in Ohio, Toledo, Ohio. Mary Glowacki has Leslie Cook from Euclid, Ohio, Martha Mozzarella from Bowling Green, Ohio, and Ruth Brown from Columbus Grove, Ohio. And on that Cape Cod rink is Krista Longnecker, Elizabeth Appleton, Rachel Hutchinson, and Amy Henderson. Apologies to anybody whose name I've pronounced incorrectly.
And so, lucky viewers, the Meyer-Stevens rink, by far the most competitive match on the ice at the moment. So again, we're all tied up through 5 ends, 3-3, halfway through this match. And so, just getting started with the 6th end. Unlike those of you familiar with the Olympics, there's no 5th end break. We play straight through. So it looks like the 2nd stone from Tracy Drummond, the lead for the Coyotes. And looks like Kelly Stevens calling for a draw. Even through the 6th end, the ice conditions will change from one end to another, so it's always a challenge out there for the team, everyone on the team, to figure out how much ice is required, what weight is required. It's it's constant adjustments. It's one of the many things that makes the game very, very interesting.
And one thing you'll notice, Todd, in watching the Olympics, is that the very best teams, they communicate with each other. All of the team members, all the members of the rink are watching the stones. They're watching the curl. They're watching the speed, and they're communicating with each other. All this information back and forth to make the best of their shots. And so, I think new curlers or people who aren't experienced with curling think that maybe the sweepers don't have such an active role, or the front end maybe not such a valuable part of the rink. But as we discussed when we started this production here this evening, especially the lead rocks are very critical to what happens in an end and to the rink's ability to score. And so every member of the rink needs to watch the shots, watch for curl, watch the speed of the rocks, and then have a good idea when your skip asks you for a takeout and gives you a certain amount of ice. You really want to have a good feel for what kind of weight you really should be throwing, and what kind of weight is going to help you bring a draw to the button, or set up a good guard for distance. And that takes everybody watching and everybody communicating.
And even though the skip is calling the shots and calling the game, the skip is constantly looking for other members of the team to provide input. For instance, as the stone's traveling down the ice, the skip's looking for an idea of what the weight is on that stone, and also looking for an idea of how fast the ice is, because the sweepers are moving up and down with the stone, and get an idea of maybe the speed at different areas on the sheet as it moves down. So as Margaret said, very, very important that there's constant communication going on.
Yeah, so the skip's watching the rock come down the ice and watching how much it curls and in what spots in the ice it curls more or it curls less, and at what speed. But the sweepers really, the lead, the second, and the vice, when they come down the sheet with the rock, have the best feel for how fast that the rock is moving, and need to communicate that to the skip or the vice in the house, so that they can make adjustments on the line and tell the sweepers whether they need to sweep or not, to keep the rock on the line that they want to, so that the shot can be made.
And you'll hear sweepers call out numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you'll see marks just over the hog line at equidistant from the top of just past the hog line all the way through, if you count the rings in the house. And so the number that the sweeper will call out gives the skip an idea of where the sweepers think the stone's going to end up, what the weight of the stone is. So they'll call out 4, 5, 6, give them an idea where they think it's going to be in the house, or 2, 3, 4 if they think it's not going to make it into the house. So again, very critical that everybody's paying very close attention and constantly communicating. So let's get back to the match. And the Meyer rink just delivered a takeout stone, and so now there's only 2 stones that actually looks like only the red stone is counting at the moment as I look at the monitor. It's very close. The Meyer's counting, and looks like this is the first stone from the Coyote Vice. Yes, looks like Myers is counting 1, and it's the only stone counting at the moment.
So this is Lindsay Juilliard on the Kelly Stevens rink, and she's called for a takeout on the rock in the biting the 12-foot. She did it, rolled over nicely. It's partially covered by those guards.
Yes, that's a very nice leave of the stone there. So Judy Meyer calling for a draw in behind those 3 guards, which, if executed, that rock would be very well protected.
And Stevens has last rock here. So there's actually a lot of rocks out in the front of the house on the center line there, which could be a problem as this end carries on. It looks like this rock's going to also get caught out in the mist.
Oh, it looks like that's not going to make it to the hog line.
She probably threw it with reasonably good weight. It's just, as we've seen, rocks out there do need to have extra weight put on them. It seems that that part of the sheet isn't used as much. The pebble's not worn down as much. There's not as much sweeping on it, and so you have to throw with more weight on the edges of the sheet, and that can be really tricky. So she probably threw that with reasonable weight, but it just got caught out there on her.
So do you see the 3 stones that are there in a row, the 3 yellow stones, as a problem for Meyer or a problem for Stevens?
The problem for Stevens, it's rare that you would see someone who has the rink that has last rock to have their rocks lined up pretty much on the center line there. Usually it's the opposition that's trying to steal that has their rocks lined up in such a manner.
So unfortunately, the second stone from Lindsay Juilliard a little heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine we're down to Skip's rocks now in the 6th end. So it looks like the draw that's been attempted by the last couple shooters going to be tried again by Judy Meyer, and she'll need to take into account the speed of the ice on that side of the sheet, as Margaret's been pointing out. Might need to give it a little bit more. As you might recall, her last shot from the 5th end was in a same position, and she gave it good weight, gave it a little bit too much weight. So as a curler, you tend to remember those shots and learn from end to end. So hopefully she has an idea of the weight, having experienced this line in the 5th end.
Yeah, she's taken less ice, so her broom is in a little bit more from the sheet. So the weight should be pretty reasonable where she's placed the broom. So the question is how much curl there's going to be in that area, and whether the rock will bend around to be protected by those guards. And they are overlapping guards, so if she gets it in a good position here, it could be very difficult for Kelly Stevens to remove, certainly. It may also be difficult for Kelly Stevens to follow her down, too.
Yeah, the line looks good, though, but is the weight there? Might just be a little light. Too bad, because she had a very nice line, it looks like. But she is shot rock. Yes, indeed.
It is exposed, though, so Kelly Stevens should be able to take it out if she wishes to, but it looks like she's deciding that they'll draw in behind those guards
from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the yellow stone at the foot of the vise is not counting, so it's just the 2 rocks at the top of the house. So Kelly Stevens makes her way down to the far end. This is, again, the first of her 2 stones in the 6th end. All tied up 3-3. A very tight, very entertaining match we have going on. It's like Longnecker scored 4 in the 6th end to take a 10-1 lead over Glowacki on sheet 4. And so it's the Stevens stone on the way.
They're going to have to get on it to get it by that.
Going to be tight through that last guard. Looks like it's going to get there. Yep. Oh, a nice shot by Kelly Stevens.
Nice draw.
So getting rid of that rock's going to be very difficult for Judy Meyer.
Now Judy can follow her down, though. Not that difficult to follow her down.
It is behind the tee line, so it does give Judy Meyer an opportunity. Pretty precise shot, though. It needs to be a pretty much the same shot that Kelly Stevens just threw.
She has the option of giving it a little bit more weight because she does have Kelly Stevens' shot to come down onto. But the problem is she's got to get it past that 12-foot yellow stone there. So it's a tricky shot. Tricky to get it by. Kelly Stevens' rock almost clipped the side of that yellow stone in the front 12-foot circle.
Yeah, that was very close.
So this is maybe not as easy as it seems. It's certainly there and doable. And it looks like Judy Meyer certainly has the skills to pull this off. So it looks like she's got a lot of weight on there. So this rock is going to have to curl just right.
It looks like it might be. It was a little. The line may have been a little tight, but
Yeah,
the
they're gonna have to
sweepers
go
need
on
to
it.
get on it. Doesn't
They're
look
gonna
like
have
it's
to
going to
go.
get there. No.
No.
So Stevens possibly in a position to steal. So what shot would you call if you're Kelly Stevens here? You're sitting one. You're looking to steal. Oh,
So
actually,
she-
you're not looking to steal. Again, you have the
She's-
hammer.
Yeah,
so.
Kelly's got the
So you
last
got
rock.
one for sure. So you're just gonna.
She just has to get it in.
Is she?
into
Looks
the
like
12 foot.
is she tapping back?
Yeah, it looks like she might be. So what she may be planning to do is just get the edge of of that rock on that's biting the 12 foot there, and have it spill into the 12 foot to outcount the red rock that's in the that's biting the partially in the 12 foot.
Doesn't need to spill very far.
No, it doesn't. So she may be able to get not only the rock that she shoots, but also if she can tap that one that's sitting at the front, just at the edge of the 12 foot there, she may be able to spill that in as a counter as well. So that may be what she's trying to do here.
Yeah. There's always a
There's
there's
a
always the danger
danger,
she kicks
yeah.
the red one back, but she's got 3 stones that are counting at the moment. So we'll see.
So if she hits it right on the nose, she'll maybe just bump the one that's biting back.
Yeah, not 3. She's got 3 stones in the house. They aren't. Only one of them's counting at the moment. So let's see. The last stone of the 6th end. A 3-3 draw.
So they really need to work on this one.
They need to get it there. They need to get
enough,
it there.
Enough of a
Need
push
to give it a kiss there.
on that
Send
other
it
rock.
back.
And
Oh,
do it.
that's tight.
How's it look
That's
there, Randy?
tight.
Is she?
They're in the way. That's. They may need to measure that one.
Yeah, it looks like they're
Looks
deliberating
like
there.
it's very close.
And yes, they're going to measure. So
Although
yellow has one, and
I-
it looks like they're going to measure
I'm
those two.
thinking, looking at the Margaret, if you look at the screen, you can see that it doesn't look like it quite got there.
Yeah, this we can't. Yeah.
Oh.
So the camera is centered on the button, and then it's hard on the periphery of the sheet to really tell.
Oh, that's close. That's where they're going to measure.
Yeah.
So we have a very precise measuring device here
Back
at
of the 8 foot.
Broomstones that
Sorry.
you'll see them bring out.
Randy's just corrected me. It's not over the button. It's over the back of the 8 foot. So it really makes it really distorted to tell who's shot and who isn't.
So you'll see Broomstones, and I would imagine all curling venues have a very handy measuring device. So there's a small little indentation in the middle of the button. You put the device down, and then you measure against one stone, tighten it up, and there's a little counter, a little gauge at the top that moves, and you determine which rock is closer. So they're setting the device on the red stone. They take the read and they compare it to the yellow, and it looks like, wow,
Looks close.
it does look close. So we'll see. So it's very close.
It's like red, maybe.
Looks like
Yep.
it's red.
Yeah.
So they'll push the red to the center to tell everybody that red was closer. So it's just one for yellow. And all the scoring decisions are made by the vices, and that's at all levels of competition. So in our social matches here at Broomstones and in the USWCA National Bonspiel, it's the vices who put the scores up on the board and make the scoring decisions together, and everybody else stays out of it. So as a lead here at Broomstones, I'm a new curler, so they put you in lead position. You just watch and don't provide your input on the scoring. So leave it to the experts. So we move on to the 7th end, and Tracy Drummond, again from 14 Hills, Arizona, a pediatrician, 4 years curling, delivers her first stone. Didn't see the call by Kelly Stevens, but looking a little short. She's coming out to help it over the hog line. If it doesn't get over the hog line, the stone doesn't count, and they get it over. So it's a just off center line guard, way up top.
And over on sheet 1 there, we have Muldowney from Nutmeg in Connecticut is leading Wellington from the Country Club in Brookline 8-6 in the 7th end.
Looks like Wellington had a three-stone 6th end to get back in the match. Nice to see. And I noticed on sheet 2, Margaret, that a couple ends were blanked, and that's not something we see a lot at the social level, but at the competitive level, you see a lot more blanked ends.
Right.
What's the strategy behind blanking an end?
So I think you mentioned earlier in the game, Todd, that the idea that if you have the hammer, you'd like to take 2. And so if a team has the hammer and they're in the position to either just score 1 or throw their rock through the house or take the opposition's rock out so that they don't score anything, it means they take the hammer to the next end. So certainly at the competitive levels of curling, that can be an advantage. So you really would like to take 2 if you have the hammer. So if the end is turning out that there are not a lot of rocks in the house, or not a lot of rocks in play, and it looks like you're not going to be able to score 2, but you could blank the end, that is have all of the rocks out of the house. You may prefer to do that and take the hammer to the next end when you can try again to score 2. So yeah, it's very unusual in club curling to see blanked ends, but you're right. Looks like Borland and Callaway have 2 blanked ends. Callaway is leading Borland though 6-1. Callaway's from Exmoor in presumably near Chicago or in Chicago, Illinois, and Callaway is from. Sorry, folks. One moment here, and we'll have that. Keep them all straight here. Callaway is from. Exmoor in Illinois. It's Exmoor in Illinois, and it's Borland that's from Mayfield in Ohio. Jeannie Borland, Mayfield in Ohio.
So you can see really interesting curling all across the country. I know I grew up in California, and I was heading out there at Christmas to spend it with my family, and I hadn't had curling shoes yet, so I called a curling club in Hollywood, California to see if they knew of any curling stores out in California, and unfortunately there aren't any. They order all their equipment from California. But curling clubs all across the country. And,
yeah, there's a club that curls in LA, probably that curls on arena ice in LA. Really dedicated curlers out there.
And I actually saw a clip from Conan O'Brien's show the other night of a curling club in Orange County. And so, warm weather, cold weather, the Minnesota seems to be really a hotbed of curling. A lot of the Olympic curlers from Minnesota, Bemidji State, Minnesota, but curling all across the country at all sorts of levels. So good to see.
Yes.
So back to our Stevens-Meyer match. Looks like we're the second for Stevens. Denise Juilliard throwing her last stone. Again, up 6-5. Meyer has the hammer in the 7th end of 10 ends. And we've been at it for about an hour and a half. So another 45 minutes or so. We don't have access to the timers, but seem to be moving at a reasonable pace. And so at the moment, looks like...
Judy Meyer's got a biter at the top of the house there.
Yeah,
it's just biting the 12 foot, and
they're
then she
sitting
has
2.
Yeah, she has the one in the into the 8 foot at the back of the house.
Looks like she's going to call for a draw here into the 4 foot. We'll see. She's giving her a lot of ice there. So.
And Judy Meyer has hammer this end, so she'll be looking to make 2 for sure to try to get ahead of Stevens at this point in the match. So that's drifting nicely into the house.
And
Oh, no, stop short there,
but
just
it's
into the 12 foot.
It is biting on the 12 foot.
Yeah,
So
looked like it was going to go in further.
it did. Looks like it stopped there. So Borland and Galloway on sheet 2, 6-2. Callaway, excuse me, not Galloway, ahead 6-1 in the 7th end. And as we mentioned, Longnecker ahead 10-1 on sheet 4 over Glowacki, and Muldowney over Wellington 8-6 on sheet 1. So the first stone from the Coyotes vice skip, Lindsay Juilliard, looks like a nicely executed draw into the 8 foot. So the stone's a little exposed, but that is shot rock at the moment. And so Myers vice, Millie Buge is how we've decided we're pronouncing it. Again, apologies if we have it wrong. From Delafield, she's a retired teacher with 30 years curling experience. Throws her first stone in the 7th end. Looks like it's takeout weight, but it looks like it might be a little wide.
Yeah, it certainly needs to curl. We've seen that happen at the edge of the sheet, where the rock just hangs out and doesn't start to curl.
Constant adjustments required by the curlers. Many of you may have heard it referred to as chess on ice, and just in reference to the fact that it's a lot of thinking goes on, shot to shot, and even within a shot. I know a lot of times that the skip will call for a shot, and the person delivering the stone may miss the line or miss the weight, so the skip will go for a plan B and look for different combination of contact from the stone. So there's constant adjustments that take place all the time. So that stone is drawn into the 12 foot, and all of a sudden Stevens is sitting 2.
That was Lindsay Juilliard, the vice on Stevens' rank. Now those two Stevens rocks are fairly well aligned there, so it would be possible to access them on that side, maybe a double takeout. But Judy Myers decided to go to the other side of the sheet, maybe put another one into the house there on that side. But it looks like they're going to be onto the guards.
Looks like they're going to have a hard time getting around those guards, yeah. So that's a good opportunity for Kelly Stevens now. So maybe she'll call for a guard on those 2 stones of hers over on the left.
Yeah.
Judy Meyer has hammer, so Kelly Stevens really looking for a steal here.
Yeah.
Up by 1 through 6 ends. So
She is, and it'd be difficult to draw into the button area now with where Stevens has her, Kelly Stevens has her 2 rocks positioned there. It'd be possible to draw in deeper, of course, but difficult to access that area. So she may be actually trying herself to draw in a deeper shot to perhaps the back 4 foot there, draw in deeper than the 2 shots that she has now.
But if she ends up light and she's out in front, that's not necessarily bad
be
either.
Hard to go wrong with this shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere out in front would serve as a guard. And if she brings it in around behind those 2 that she has already, they'll be well guarded too. So looks like she's
tight.
it looks a little on the narrow side, so it's going to be maybe not provide the guard they were hoping for.
They're sweeping it. Well, let's see. Maybe they're looking to tick back that yellow now.
It doesn't look like it's
doesn't look
really
like it's
going
going to
anywhere.
get there. A little on the light end. So we'll see what Judy Meyer does with that.
So the edges of the sheet are proving to be very difficult to
tough to read.
To allow access to the center of the house, the scoring zone.
So it looks like Judy Meyer's going to try another draw out there on the right-hand side of the sheet. Discussing it with her vice, Millie, and she heads down. They've made a decision.
I'll have another look here. I think that Stevens rock is shot. It's close, but yeah, it is. The Stevens rock in the 8 foot appears to be shot rock. So Judy is going to try and come down.
It is tight, but it does appear to be shot.
Is going to try and come down and and draw in a little deeper than what Kelly Stevens has at the front of the house.
Yeah, removing shot rock at this point would be tough. So
Well, I think that there is room for a double there, but it would be difficult, and the shooter wouldn't be in a scoring position. So probably does make more sense to draw on this side of the sheet. This side of the sheet, though, has proven particularly tricky.
we'll see if Judy Meyer has it figured out. Gives it good weight.
Yeah, it
But,
looks like good weight. It's going to curl, so it just needs to have enough weight to maybe even bump her own rock in. That might work too.
That might work too. So get around that guard. Looks like
If
she's
it's
around the guard.
yeah, it needs to curl. It sure does.
Go, but that's
Looks like the weight's okay. Might be a little quick.
they're not looking for the bump. They're
Not
looking
too
for the
bad.
draw, so
It's going in there.
looks like a nice
Yeah,
shot by
well done.
Judy Meyer.
Well done.
And that's shot rock. That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like she figured out that side of the sheet all right.
Sure
So good
does.
for her. That's a challenging
So
spot on the sheet tonight.
Judy Meyer sitting one. So so Kelly Stevens, they've each chosen their own side of the sheet now that they're shooting at. So looks like she's going to try and draw into the little tighter on the 8-footer into the 4-foot. I would imagine would be the shot she's going for. Just going to try and outdraw Judy Meyer on the other side. So we'll see if Kelly Stevens is able to execute this. Her last couple shots have been a little tight, so needs to be on that broom.
And over on, it looks like Wellington is pulling up to Muldowney. It's now 8-6 for Muldowney.
Wellington is from Cape Cod, is that correct?
Wellington,
Do I
I think,
remember
is
that
from the
right?
country club.
Yeah, the
in
country
Brookline.
club. Local.
So
Rooting
now,
for our locals. So
Kelly Stevens, is she going to
Oh,
bump?
she's
She's
gonna
looking
bump
to bump
that.
her own in.
let's see.
And she did a great job of that.
Ooh,
Now,
it's
is
tight.
Is it
It's very
shot?
close. Very
close.
close. We're going to take a closer
Okay, that
look.
well done.
Looks like it might be shot.
Yeah, well done.
Looks like it might be. It's
difficult to
very
come down there and
close.
take that
So,
out.
Looking to steal one.
So yes, Muldowney on sheet 1 is from Connecticut, Nutmeg in Connecticut, and Wellington is from the country club in Brookline. And Wellington is pulled within 2 of Muldowney, so that game's a lot closer now. And we still have
And
Long
there it
Necker
looks
way
like-
out in front of Glowacki on sheet 4,
Yeah.
10 to 2.
Although Glowacki got one back in the 7th end, so looks like Muldowney scores another one, so they go up by 3.
Okay, so it looks like we've got Judy Mayer going in on what is now a practice side of the sheet for her. And it looks like she's wants to just repeat what she just did and bring another rock into the scoring area there.
Whether she slides it in herself or taps that one in, it's a pretty precision shot though. Looks like good weight. Does she have? Up. They don't.
Yeah, it
she
needs to
doesn't want it
curl. Looks
swept.
like they want to bump their own rock in,
I
the
think
one that's biting the 12-foot.
I think so. Yeah, it needs to
It
curl.
does need to curl.
Well, now it needs to hit the other one and knock it in. So
She
Still
needs
an
a little roll
opportunity.
there.
looks like that one swept out. That's a steal there by the Stevens. So Meyer retains the hammer, and Stevens goes up by 2 through 7. By far the most competitive match on the ice right now. Borland and Callaway. Callaway up 6-3, and Stevens up 5-3 on our sheet. So we go to the 8th end, 3 more ends, rounding out to 7:30 on local time. The match got started a little bit late, so I imagine we're looking at another half hour, 45 minutes maybe.
It looks like all the certainly all the rinks have kept the games moving. This is one thing for new curlers that there's so much to learn and so much going on, but it really is important to be ready to throw your rock, to be watching the action. As soon as if you're playing lead, the opponent lead has thrown their rock, to be ready to throw yours, so that the game moves along. It certainly can really prolong a game if players aren't ready to go with their shots. Certainly in our club here at Broomstone, some of our social leagues, we have difficulty getting our 8 ends in. And it really shouldn't be a challenge if everybody's ready to go with their rock to get the ends in. Everyone's conscious of
I'd say
moving
it's
along.
much more common that we play 6 or 7 ends here at Broomstones than 8, unfortunately. So, and you'll notice down at the hack, as soon as a rock is thrown, a teammate will get the next rock ready for their teammate if they're not there. And as Margaret mentioned, these groups seem to really be adept at moving the game along, which is nice to see, because you want to get as many ends in as you can. It's a bit different. They have a little bit longer for this national Bonspiel. We said 73, maybe 75 minutes aside, but it's still, you need to move along at a pretty good clip. So it looks like Tracy Drummond's second stone of the 8th end. First stone biting the 8-foot, and looks like Kelly Stevens is calling for another draw.
Yeah, Randy's just mentioned about the fact that these are time games, and we did talk earlier in the game about how we do have timers in this Bonspiel, the women's national Bonspiel. So it is a fact that if these teams don't move along, they do lose the game. But in club curling, it's part of the etiquette not to be taking a long time. And if you're a skip and you don't know what shot to call, if you're a new skip, it's part of learning the game before you do take on the skip's role, to be able to move the game along, make up your mind, call your shot, and make your shot. But these teams are being timed right now, so they do have to move along, because if they run out of time, they will lose the game.
And they're very cognizant of how much time they have left. So, they're paying attention to that, along with all the other things we've mentioned that they need to pay attention to. So,
yeah, our timers are at Broomstones here. We have 2 levels of viewing. Todd and I, along with Randy and Amy, who are responsible for our audio video here, are up on the 2nd floor. The timers are down on the 1st floor. They have computers that they use to time with, special apps that they use. And the screen, there's a projection out onto the ice, so all they have to do is look up to see how much time they have left.
and we do want to give a huge shout out to Randy and Amy for the work they're doing for this whole Bonspiel, getting it all online for you, getting the audio and the video, doing a spectacular job. So we're really delighted to be able to bring this to you on the internet live.
So we've got Judy Mayer's up against it here. She's got 2 opposition stones in the scoring zone here, and so it looks like she's calling for a takeout. This could be doubled. If they hit it right, it could be a double takeout. Certainly it's there.
Like
But
Judy's
they're
Tatina's first stone of the 8th end, and looks like she's on it. Might have a shot at it. Oh, okay. Took out the 1 though. 1 at a time. That's all right.
Yeah, so
It looks like Denise Juilliard, her first stone of the 8th end.
and Kelly's calling for a guard close to the house, so she's trying to take control of the front of the house there and make it difficult for Judy Mayer to get her rocks in there.
Kelly Stevens has been a little bit adept at stealing some ends. So
It's impressive. 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7.
yeah. So 1 at a time, but that's all it takes. So doing a great job. Looks like it might be a little heavy. Let's see if it nicks. No,
Yeah.
that's going to sail
Right
through
on
the
by.
house.
Okay, but she's got a rock in good position there. Really
Well guarded.
well guarded behind that rock that's just over the hog line there.
So Judy's gonna try and have Jackie take it out. It's a tight shot, but got to get around the guard and then curl. So we'll see.
It'd be hard to take it out and stay in the rings, but it's possible.
Gonna have to be pretty tight. It's looking a little wide there.
Yeah, needs to curl for sure. And it's coming now, but it's
Not gonna get
maybe
there.
not enough.
That one's gonna tick her own.
Oh.
No, that one going to slide.
That
through
might have been an
two.
interesting plan B if they'd really swept it and they got
Kept it on their own stone.
roll off their own onto the onto Kelly.
A good example of what we were saying about an adjustment on the fly.
It's always good to look for plan B and plan C.
Yeah, especially if I'm throwing the stone. All right, so
Plan B and plan C are what makes curling fun.
yes. Lindsay Juilliard delivers her first stone of the eighth end, and a nice little tick off the red would work well for her here.
Yeah, she really needs to slow it down.
Ooh.
It did. Well done. Look at that.
Sitting two, and she's behind her guard with both of those, so it's going to be interesting. So Judy's, let's see, looks like
She wants to draw in, I think.
she's a bit on.
Yep, she's drawn in.
Okay. Let's see if Millie can execute that. Whoa, she loses her balance coming out of the hack. That's unfortunate, but
well,
we've all done that.
she might be able to move some of these rocks around if this if this rock curls over. And it's starting to come, but maybe not soon enough. And will it slow down to draw?
Considering, so it might be all right.
She might stop there. It needs to
Oh,
bite in.
It does, but that's not a bad shot.
It's not
Hey,
bad. It's exposed.
Maybe she's
But-
discovered a new technique out of the hack there that works for her.
We'll just mention real quick, it looks like Borland has gained another 2 points on Callaway on sheet 2, so it's now 6-3.
Okay.
Callaway's from Illinois, from Exmoor, and Borland is from Mayfield in Ohio.
All right, making it a little bit more competitive. 3 ends to go, down by 3. Anything can happen. So it looks like it's all over on sheet 4. Looks like Longnecker and Glowacki have shaken, and so let's see how the Stevens stone ends up, and then we can talk about that. So unfortunately, she knocks. Well, maybe not so unfortunately. Only it knocks the Meyer stone into shot position, but Meyer's just sitting 1 at the moment. So they shook over there on sheet 4 before the end of the match. So again, another example of the congeniality of curling. So once Longnecker got a large lead, Glowacki conceded the match, and that's something that takes place on a regular basis at all levels. Even at the Olympic level, the U.S. men shook in a match before the end of the 10 ends. So yes, and as has been pointed out, except in a point spiel, you don't shake in a point spiel because it's scored a bit differently.
So Judy Mayer would have liked that guard to be over a little bit further to protect that one that shot rock now that she has on the edge of the forefoot. So Longnecker is from Cape Cod. Krista Longnecker, Elizabeth Abelton, Rachel Hutchinson, and Amy Henderson. From Cape Cod, were victors over Glowacki, and Glowacki is from one second here. Glowacki's from Bowling Green in Ohio. Mary Glowacki, Leslie Cook, Martha Mozzarella, and Ruth Brown.
So congratulations to the Longnecker rink on their victory. So Kelly Stevens throwing her first stone of the 8th end, and looks like she's going to attempt to take out the Meyer shot rock.
And it is exposed. So
Yeah, a lot of
she's got
stones.
the
A lot of stones in play here, but there's a pretty wide port there for her to take this out.
There is. So the right broom and the right weight, she should be able to get this out of there.
Well, okay, the line looks
that's
good, but I think the
starting to
sweepers
curl.
need to stay on it.
Yeah, because it is starting to curl. It's
Yeah.
coming across now.
Looks like a
She
good
should
shot.
be able to catch a piece of it at least.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Over curl.
Dear, it did.
Oh, the sweepers didn't get on that
They
one.
needed
strong
to sweep it
enough.
hard all the way down
They
there.
did. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Have
Too
you
bad.
have you curled at the Cape Cod facility?
I have. It's lovely down there.
Is it it's
Nice bunch of people.
a dedicated facility?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lovely.
I believe there's a
Yeah.
Bonspiel coming up down there pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the first stone for Judy Meyer in the 8th end for Skip Rock. And I would imagine she's going to put up a guard on that shot rock. Looking like,
Looks like that's what she's calling.
although maybe in the house, She needs to score, so
Yeah.
be interesting to see what she's
She doesn't,
attempting.
or she does have hammer, so
She does.
yeah, she'd like to get 2. She certainly doesn't want to be through. If she's not in the house, then she'd most likely prefer to have a guard so that Kelly Stevens can't get at that shot rock.
So the Bonspiel concludes tomorrow morning, if I'm not mistaken. Have the championship match tomorrow. Don't have the standings as to how everybody's doing here at our fingertips, but we're hoping all the competitors are having a great time, and that it's been well hosted by Broomstone. So Judy Meyer's first stone in the 8th end. Needs to curl, well, that's not so bad. It ticks off her guard, and she protects shot rock. She doesn't get in the house, but it's a tough run back for Kelly Stevens now. And even if she does run it back, she's running back the red stone. So that's not necessarily the play you want. So let's see what she's going to call with her vice, Lindsay Juilliard. Looks like she's going to call for the run back. Going to have to deliver this with pretty good weight. As Kelly Stevens makes her way down the ice for her last stone in the 8th end. Again, Judy Meyer has hammer and is looking to score 2. If she's able to score 2, be all tied up going to the 9th end. So just the kind of match you're looking for. Very exciting, very tight, lots of strategy.
It's got a lot of weight on that rock.
So looking like she's trying to take the red stone back into the red stone. And looks like it's slowing down.
It's
curling on her. Looks like she's going to miss the first one.
Maybe knock her own in.
Looks like
all the angles are set up for that.
Okay, well, she does knock her own stone back, but it's not shot rock. The Meyer stone is still shot rock. So it looks like Judy Meyer has a couple choices. She can draw, or she can tap back her own stone on the right-hand side, on the right-hand sweep line.
That'd be a pretty difficult shot to get the weight just right and hit the rock just right to tap the stone back into the scoring position. Certainly it's possible, but that's not an easy shot.
No, it looks like that's what they're talking about, though. It's like the skips are both struggling with the weight a little bit. You know, it's a new facility for them. They've never, possibly haven't curled here before, or haven't curled here in a number of years. So the ice is different everywhere you go, and it's constant figuring out how the ice plays at any point in a match, at any point in the day. And now that the match is concluded on the 4th sheet, it changes the ice dramatically on the 3rd sheet. It'll cool things down and slow things down now that there's not bodies at the sheet next to them. So, not to overemphasize the point, but the teams will need to adjust again to the fact that there's a match concluded next to them. So it changes the ice all over again. All right, Judy Meyer's worked her way back and getting ready to deliver the last stone of the 8th end. And she's sitting 1, hoping to get 2, tie up this match to go to the 9th. The stone's away. Looks like
It's starting to curl.
well, it's curling.
They're really going to have to sweep it. They
Yeah,
want to bump their own back.
they are going for the bump back we discussed, but if she ticked off the yellow, it may have diverted into the button, but looks like just 1 for Judy Meyer, but she inches closer.
Good effort.
But as we get later and later in the match, it's more and more important to have the hammer, and
She's just down by 1, so it's certainly doable. There's two ends left.
2 ends left, but so this would be Kelly Stevens would be looking to put it out of reach in this end. She can get 2 in this end. Make it very difficult on Judy Meyer in the 10th. So Kelly Stevens rink with the hammer, and Irene Shooter delivers for the Kettle Moraine 2 rink. Her shot's away, looking to put up a guard, and looking a little bit heavy. That's going to end up in the house. Looks like it's going to be right about at the button. So I'd say that she's not just going to ignore that stone and put up a shot of her own in the 8-foot. Still early. She knows she has shot rock. Excuse me. She knows she has the hammer. So I imagine, Margaret, as we get into the last 2 ends, that does the strategy change dramatically now?
Well, it does. Certainly, you have to think about what you're doing and design your strategy based on the scoreboard. So, for example, in the U.S. Game against Russia, I believe it was. I think Schuster kind of forgot that he just needed 1 to win. So he needed to just keep the front open, and all he had to do was to be able to make his last rock, if I'm remembering correctly. And yet he sort of set the end up. Really, it seemed to me like he was trying to get a deuce, which he didn't need. He just needed 1 point to win.
Right.
So it's a different approach that you take. If in that situation you've got last rock, you're tied coming home, you want to keep the front open so that you can go in and make your last rock, make your last shot. It's important to do that. So now in this case, we have the Stevens rink is one point up on Judy Mayer, and she's got the last rock right now. So it's going to be tough for Judy Mayer to battle back. So Judy wants rocks in the house. Judy's going to try to steal. Whereas you would think maybe Kelly Stevens would be looking at trying to keep it a little bit more open. But it looks like she may be designing her strategy around her players and their strengths and what she sees happening in the other team.
Right. So it's hard to know what's going through a skip's head, but she's not. She's got a couple stones there at the front, which, as Margaret said, might not be your first thought, but she seems confident in her strategy. So in the 8th end over on sheet 1, the Wellington rink from the Country Club scored 1 point in the 8th end to draw within 2. So they've moved on to the 9th end with Muldowney ahead 9-7 over Wellington, and they're on to the 9th end as well on the Borland-Callaway match. And Callaway had a big 8th end, scored 3 to take a 9-3 lead. So I would imagine Borland has the hammer, but I imagine if they don't score too much, they'll be shaking after this end. Yeah, I wouldn't have put it past Borland to shake after the 8th end, but they're going to give it a shot here to try and come back. So, meanwhile, Myers
is just taking the opportunity to sink some rocks in the scoring zone there.
So they're sitting 2, and looks like Kelly Stevens wants that guard removed. We're past the time when free guards are untouchable, or unmovable. So Kelly Stevens has asked for that guard to be removed. Line's tight though. The sweepers are going to need to stay on it in order to get that one out. Looks like it's going to curl too much.
Well, that's Denise Juilliard, second on the Coyotes rink.
That's always the danger. She takes out her own stones. And so now, knowing that strategy, Judy Meyer is going to try and protect those stones a little bit more and draw one into the 12-foot on top of the 2 she's already got scoring. So trying to pile them into the house. And you can't blame her, down by 1 without the hammer.
Yeah, that's absolutely the way to go. She needs points, and she's taking the opportunity to put them in there as best she can.
So Jackie Steena's last stone in the ninth end. Though it looks like she's a little tight.
She's going to be onto
clip
that
the
guard.
Just missed. So that's unfortunate.
That's a bad break for them.
That is a bad. That opens up the shot, the two shot rocks for Kelly Stevens. So she's gonna call for a takeout on those immediately.
And the double's there, so she could make both of these go away pretty quickly here.
That changes the end significantly. There's a real good example of how an unfortunate shot by a lead or a second really can turn an end around if the Coyotes can execute on this takeout. Line looks good. It's curling. The sweepers need to stay on it. She got them both, but
it's not quite enough.
Not quite enough, and it looks like Myers is still sitting too. They are.
I'm not sure how close those two red rocks were together, but certainly difficult to take
from
both
our
of
angle.
them
They looked close, but
yeah,
again, we don't have the best angle down at the other end of the house. So
she maybe needed a little bit more weight, and maybe she didn't have quite the angle on it that she wanted to.
So Judy Meyer calling for a draw from Millie. We'll see if they can execute this.
So this
Meyer
is looking
sitting
good.
two. Needs to curl. Might be a looks like that one's going to be through the house. So no. So it's not. It's actually scoring. So
now Kelly Stevens has decided to go in there and try to
called for to freeze to the to the first shot rock. Yes, I believe so. So with the hammer, as we've said so often, Kelly Stevens looking to score two. So trying to get her first rock into scoring position. So looking for a draw. Needs to curl.
Also looks heavy and needs to curl.
Oh, needs to curl. Needs to
It's
get there.
coming over.
Oh, looks like.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looks like a good shot. Oh, right to maybe a little deeper you would have wanted it, but you can't fault that shot. So she's shot rock at the moment.
It's not frozen, and it looks like Judy has called for a takeout.
Right. So
on that rock.
It's
going to be
Kelly
tough to get it
Stevens
out
was
of there.
looking for it a little bit deeper, but you can see strategy changing on every shot, especially as we work our way through the ninth end. So
this rock is not curling.
So
it's really running.
No.
Backing off on the side of the sheet. So it really didn't curl.
No. So now she'll be looking for, I imagine she'll be looking to guard shot rock. So she's looking for a rock up top in the 12-foot, right in front of her shot rock. So hoping Lindsay Juilliard can pull this off for her. Last vice stone of the ninth end. Got the sweepers on it. Looks like it might be a little bit heavy for the call, but they're sweeping it. Well, it looks like it might freeze to their other stone, so a little deeper than she called for, but still they're sitting two now. So
now it's gotten tough for Judy Meyer.
Yeah, it's gotten very tough. So Judy Meyer now has the first of her two shots in the ninth end, but well, that stone's exposed. I think she's going to maybe have to mix things up in the center of the house there and just knock some things around. I think that's what she's looking to do. Unfortunately, the yellow stone on the button has a backstop of a red stone, so it's going to be tough to get that one out of there.
It looks like a nose hit.
Oh, it's not as close as I imagined. So there's a good opportunity for a double. Right, so we're taking a
nose
closer
hit.
look. Yeah, so there's a good opportunity for a double.
No, they're not.
Yeah. All right, so
Yeah, she needs to put good weight on this.
she does.
And Randy's pointed out that they really haven't been throwing heavyweight takeouts. So that's right. We've got the skilled Judy Mayer
Yes, 48 years of experience.
tossing this one down with a stick delivery. So
So let's see. This could change the whole complexion of the ninth end if she executes this. Well, the line looks good though. It needs to curl, but
it's coming
need
over.
to stay on it. Stay
Yeah,
on it.
they do.
Looks like it's going to be a little tight. She's going to get one. She's going to
at
get
least.
one.
Whoa.
Uh,
Well
yeah,
done. But they
that's
still
right,
have
she
to
needed a
contend
little-
with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
With shot rock, she did come
so that
a little bit narrow. with the
Steven
path she
Stone's
needed.
sitting right on the button, so it looks like she's going to put a stone out there in front of it, make it tough for Meyer to take her out.
And Stevens does have last rock here too, so
Yeah, so this is her first of two in the ninth end, so she's going to try and protect shot rock and make it a little tougher for Judy Meyer. All right, an inward curl on the shot, called by her vice, and shots away. Line looks good. They need to stay on it. If it's too
Not
light,
sure
it's
it's
going
got
to
enough
catch the
weight.
guards.
I'm not sure it's got enough weight.
Yeah,
It's going to curl over.
no, that's not going to get there. We've seen that shot from Kelly Stevens before, unfortunately.
But
Just
you know, it's in front of her rock though. It's made
Yeah,
a play on the button
that's
more
true.
difficult.
That's so true. So makes it a little tougher for Judy Meyer. Maybe even though that wasn't it wasn't the called shot. It's
No.
Plan B. Plan B.
There's still a pathway there for Judy to get at that rock.
Yeah, so it looks.
That's right. Randy's just pointing out that on the other side of the sheet, she could run her own back that's
Her own
in the
red.
4-foot
She could.
onto the yellow stone on the button.
So let's see what they're calling. Looks like straight draw.
Yeah, she could. Yeah, she does have a couple of options there, but it does look like she's by the ice. My guess is that she is straight drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple options. She can certainly come off the rock in the 8-foot, bounce her shooter into the area of the button. She can come down the other side of the sheet and bump her own into the shot rock.
And as we mentioned, the more shots she has in play, the more opportunity she has. So, as Randy said,
So
she
they need
could
to get
end
it
up
by
with 5.
the
but
guard, and one guard they need to let it curl to edge out the shot rock.
let's see, is it going to get?
And
It looks like it's just going to miss it.
just missed it.
Ah,
Great effort by Judy
nice
Meyer.
try. So
Great effort.
Steven's still sitting 1. And
Yeah.
we're the
Looks-
last.
looks like
stone of
Borland's
the
conceded.
end. So, yeah, she may have pulled it a little wide. So,
It looks like Borland's conceded on sheet 2 to Callaway.
yes, they have after 9 ends. So, Callaway has the victory over Borland on sheet 2.
And Wellington's still battling with Muldowney on sheet 1.
Looks like Wellington is in scoring position too. We have one more stone left on
Yeah,
that
the country club's
sheet.
in scoring position.
Yes, they are in scoring position, and it looks like they have. They don't have the hammer though, because they scored in the 8th end. So
But certainly their shot rock
our shot rock.
and their
So
second shot rock, if it is second shot, is well guarded.
so here's the last stone of our 9th end. Stevens looking for 2. Doesn't look like it's quite gonna get there. No,
No,
but she
that was
does
also a nice
score
effort.
1. Nice
Yeah.
effort.
So that
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
take a look at sheet one. Yes, so
The Country
Wellington's
Club.
sitting 2, and Muldowney is throwing the last stone of the end. Here it comes. It's a takeout. It doesn't look like it's going to affect shot rock. So looks like Wellington has tied it up, going to the 10th. Very
Against
exciting.
Nutmeg. Yeah, the Country Club has tied it up
Country-
against Nutmeg. Wellington versus
9
Muldowney.
9-9, going to the 10th end.
Well, that's become a very exciting game
It
over there on
is.
sheet 1.
So now we move on to the 10th end in our featured match between the Meyer Rink from Kettle Moraine, Wisconsin, and the Coyotes from Tempe, Arizona.
So the Country Club is like your partner here. Their years of curling experience are too many to mention each one of them. But they're showing their experience tonight by being able to pull neck and neck with Muldowney after being down.
They were down 8-3 at one point, and they've come back with a strong 6th end. They've built on that. So now we move on to our 10th and final end. And first shot by the Stevens rink, up by 2, with Meyer having the hammer, is a guard out between the center and sweep line on the left-hand side of the sheet. So Judy Meyer calling for a draw into the 12-foot. She needs as many stones in play as possible. She's going to need to steal 3 to win this match. Steal 2, and I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is.
Well,
but,
she's got last rock, so
so she's not
that's right.
stealing. My
Yeah, she'll need
mistake,
2
of course. She has the hammer.
2 to tie,
so
3 to win.
Right.
But she does have hammer.
So looking for a draw. Looks like it's going to get there. Where she called it. Nice shot by Irene Shooter.
So the Country Club rink is, looks like, excuse me if it's wrong, Coco Wellington, Lee Ladd, Jean Childs, and Ann Robertson. Ann Robertson's from Milton, Jean Childs from Wellesley, Lee Ladd from Chestnut Hill, and Coco Wellington from North Falmouth.
All right, the second stone by the Coyotes lead, Tracy Drummond, on our sheet 3 here, is on its way. And looks like Kelly Stevens called for a draw into the house, but it looks like it might be a little heavy, unfortunately. So that's through the house.
Then up against the Wellington rink from the Country Club is the Nutmeg rink of Diane Muldowney, Maura Cockey, Karen Sheen, and Felicia Howland from Connecticut.
Again, that's 9-9 going to the 10th end with Muldowney with the hammer. All right, the fourth stone of the 10th end in the Meyer-Stevens match is on its way. Looks like it's going to settle on the just off the center line next to the other guard. So Meyer sitting 1 at the moment. Needs to get as many stones in play as possible. Looking to grab 3 to win the match. So Kelly Stevens calling for a takeout.
Yeah, Kelly wants to get rid of as many stones as she can as soon as she can. She's up 2 and doesn't have last rock. So she wants to force Judy to 1 if she can.
Needs to curl if it's going to take that one out. So looks like if it has, see if it has the oomph. Needs to get out of the back of the house. Doesn't look like she maybe hit it quite hard enough. So she removes it, but Kelly Stevens expresses a little bit of frustration at the weight of that stone.
And Judy's not going to waste any time getting more rocks in there behind guard if she can.
Calling for a draw behind those guards. So Jackie Statina delivers her first stone of the 10th end. Sweepers are staying off of it. it's around the guards. They need to get it there. Looks like it's going to settle into the... No, it's another guard. So she wasn't calling for it to be swept, so it looks like she liked
She's
it
okay
there.
with it. Yeah.
All right.
And she's still controlling the front of the house, and she's guarded the shot rock, which is in the back 8 foot.
Okay, so it looks like Denise Juilliard delivering her second stone of the 10th end.
Now, with enough weight and the right angle, she could possibly take both the guard and the shot in the 8 foot out. We'll see what happens here.
Okay. Looks like it might be wide.
Looks wide. Yeah.
See from the expression on her face that she knows it's wide. So that's not going to do any damage. That's through the house. She knew it the minute she let go of it. So over on the first sheet, at the moment, with about 6 stones thrown, it looks like 7 stones thrown. The Muldowney's sitting shot, and it's hard to tell who's second at the moment. So Muldowney with a slight advantage, and the hammer at the moment. All right, here comes the second stone from Jackie Statina in the 10th end.
Need to sweep it. It's going to start to curl.
Yeah, needs to stay off that guard, but looks like here it comes. Well, maybe it's going to tick over to the left and does guard the second shot. So Meyer's still sitting 2. So I would imagine Stevens needs to get rid of some of these stones, huh? Looking for the run back off 2 of her stones. So she's hoping Lindsay Juilliard can put some oomph into this one. So far I think the end's going the way that Judy Meyer would like to see it go. All right, stones away. Looks like it might be a little wide, needs to curl. It's going to get them both. No, just the one. Yeah. Not what she was looking for. All right, let's see what Judy Meyer calls.
It's really more helpful to her not to have the rocks piled up like that, though.
For Judy Meyer not to have them piled up.
Well, if Kelly Stevens is trying to get a rock into the scoring position, it's going to be tough to do at this point. And if she wants to raise her own,
So
better
looks
not
like
to have them piled, stacked
Judy
up.
Meyer calling for a little bit of a tap back on this one, but it needs to curl. She wants to tap back her own red. It's coming around. It looks a little heavy. Maybe she gets a glance and gets the same result. That's what she called. So it wasn't exactly how she called it, but the net result almost the same. So
Okay.
now Kelly Stevens is calling for a tap back of her own.
So Kelly's just hoping to get her own into scoring position there and guarded well enough that she can steal one and put the game away. Because Judy's got three
She's
rocks
counting
in scoring
3 right
position
now, which gives her the match. Still a long way to go, though. Long way to go. So that's stone on its way and looking for the tap back. Not quite what
Not
she was
quite.
looking for.
Runs into the opposition stone there.
So Meyer's still sitting 3.
That needed to be just the right angle to get it to
Yeah,
go through the
just
shoot
didn't
the gap there.
quite hit it squarely. So now Millie's second stone of the 10th end. And looks like she's calling for a little bit of a tap back. Might be a little light though, which probably wouldn't be the worst thing. That's okay. A little bit. Oh, looking to tap it back. That's all right though. Judy Meyer looking good so far. Sitting 3.
She's got a chance to score 3, but now
does.
Kelly Stevens got to figure out how she's going to get a rock in there somewhere.
Yeah. looking to
she's gonna
tap
try the
another
raise
one
again.
back. Maybe tap up, double tap back. It is becoming a tap dance. So all of a sudden, Judy Meyer making a interesting 10th end. Looking to, it's been a really tight match the whole way.
So I don't know what she decided on there. Did you pick that up,
I'm
Todd?
thinking she's looking to tap back her 2 yellows. I don't
That's
think she
tough
ever
shot.
changed that. It is a tough shot. Never mind tapping back 1. Meanwhile, over on the first rink, it's very tight. Looks like Muldowney is sitting 1, and we're in the skip into the skip stones. So we'll take a look in just a minute. Needs the weight. Might not have the weight. Didn't quite get it there, but
So
she did move into at least 3rd position.
Looks like
Maybe
she's
2nd. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it looks like she's cut Judy down to 2 in scoring
So
position.
we're taking a look at sheet 1 with the first skip rock for Wellington, and Muldowney sitting 1 at the moment. Right, so we're down to skip rocks over there. All right, so as you'll see on your monitor, sheet 1 is up, and Wellington throwing her first stone in the 10th and final end of the tied match. And she's looking to take out shot rock, and it looks like a well-executed shot. So now it's way too tight to tell.
Yeah. Now the question is, who shot?
Who shot? So from this angle, it's impossible to tell.
So
Meanwhile,
what do the players think here?
Judy Meyer
It's
and
hard to
Millie
tell.
discussing their shot. Kelly Stevens made things a little bit interesting, and we don't know whose second shot on our sheet. Meanwhile, Muldowney discusses strategy with her skip. Yellow is second shot, so we're thinking Meyer's only sitting 1. That was a nice shot by Kelly Stevens. All right, so Muldowney makes her way down to the other end, and it's too close to call over there, shot rock. Meanwhile, the strategy discussion continues between Myers and Millie Buge.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you think she called?
It looks to me like she might be
Maybe.
going after that shot yellow stone.
Maybe so. Oh, and Judy Meyer comes back down to talk about it again. She's forgotten her stick. Meanwhile, Muldowney delivers, looking to take out the yellow stone, and looks like she's executed it quite well. So now it looks like red is sitting 1, although it's very tough to tell. They only need 1. So Wellington wasting no time, trying to determine which shot, looking to draw.
Yeah, Wellington needs to get this into scoring
They
position
need to
here.
draw this into scoring position and make Muldowney make the shot. Meanwhile, Judy Myers made her way down. We're delighted to have 2 such tight matches here, coming down to last shot on the 10th end. Just what you'd like to see. So, strategy discussion continues on sheet 1. Meanwhile, Judy Meyer about to deliver her second to last stone in the 10th end. She lets it go. Looks like she's trying to get rid of the yellow stone. It looks like it might be over curling on her, but she's got some leeway there.
Looks
Needs
all
to
right.
miss the guard.
Missed the guard.
Okay. Well, looks like yellow's still sitting second. So Kelly Stevens' first shot of the 10th end threw a bit of a monkey wrench into Judy Meyer's plans. So now it looks like I'm not sure what Kelly Stevens is calling. Meanwhile, Wellington delivering the last stone of the 10th end on sheet 1. We'll take a look while Kelly Stevens discusses strategy here. We'll go to sheet 1. Wellington delivering the stone. Needs to get into scoring position, otherwise it looks like this match is over.
Looks like she's trying to do a takeout on that, or
Yeah,
some kind
looks
of a
like that shot's not going
raise
to do
in,
it.
bounce off. Yeah.
So that match is over. And Muldowney,
well fought
yes,
by
Muldowney.
Wellington.
Nice try, Wellington from
The Country Club.
Country Club in Brookline, but Muldowney pulls it out 10-9, the 10th end. Congratulations to both teams. Well fought match. Meanwhile, we have 2 stones left in our match, and Kelly Stevens getting ready to deliver her last stone of the match. So we'll see if she's able to disrupt Judy Meyer's plans a little bit more.
She's planning to maybe bump her own back a little bit. It's not a bad idea if she can do it. But a guard would probably do just as well. It'd be pretty hard for Judy to score.
If she can bump this one back, it's going to make it very difficult for Judy Meyer. But it looks like
Judy
she's got
needs
the
to
line.
tie.
Looks like she's got the line. Oh, and she puts herself in shot position. Oh, nice shot by Kelly Stevens. So, Margaret, what options does Judy Meyer have here?
That's going to be tough. So somehow she has to get 2 out of this. So which means somehow moving that shot rock.
Yeah.
And so it looks like she's thinking about coming down and doubling off that rock in the 12-foot onto the one in the 8-foot.
She needs to come off the front yellow, but
and
that
could work.
yellow can't stick around. The front yellow needs to get out of there as well. So she can definitely get rid of the shot rock, but can she get rid of the front yellow? And if she hits it wrong, that front yellow sticks around and disrupts her scoring opportunity. So it's all about the angles here. She needs to hit it in such a way so yellow doesn't stick around.
She might be able to get the yellow to travel across the top of the red stone, but that would be very, very difficult.
Well, the red stone in the 12-foot, Judy Meyer doesn't need, because she has second shot on the left in the 8-foot. So if she can somehow use that one and score 2, she gets rid of both those yellows, she actually scores 3 and wins the game. So
here comes the shot.
Very exciting finish.
Oh,
we can hear the crowd downstairs into the match. Everybody wondering what's going to happen. It's headed in the direction. She's given herself a chance.
It's going to go right between the 2 of them.
Let's see. Oh, nice try, but
wow,
it just didn't quite work out. And congratulations to the Kelly Stevens ring.
Yep,
What
Kelly
a
Stevens of Coyotes in Arizona.
They take that with 2 in the 10th. What a great match. It was a very nice attempt at Judy Myers at the end there. Just didn't quite get the combination off the rock she was hoping for, but a well-fought match. And as we say, congratulations to both teams. That concludes this draw in the 66th National Bonspiel of the U.S. Women's Curling Association. Thanks so much for listening.
Thanks again to Randy and Amy.
So we have another draw. We have a draw at 8:30, but we'll probably get started a little bit late on that. But please stick around. We need to condition the ice, and we'll be back. Thank you very much.